Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading. And before I start, I want to say this reading is sponsored by the Divine One, Latoya Taylor, who had a birthday this week. Happy birthday again, Taylor. She had her birthday on May 9th, the same day as Ghostface Killer. Also, Leah is a sponsor. Kimberly, Emily May, and Brian. Thank you, guys. So here we go. Beginning with Karma, hashtag creepy deck. Opening to young female, which can be a couple of different things. I mean, it can be like the Page of Fire for me, Page of Wands. Perhaps a Sagittarius. That's what it tends to come out for me most, a Sagittarius. But this can be maybe a younger Leo or a youthful Leo too, or an Aries as well. Maybe even a Scorpio, young Scorpio female. But again, first and foremost, it tends to represent the planet Jupiter and Sagittarius, which it rules for me. And opposite Karma, definitely. Jupiter, very much about karma. It is the planet of karma. As far as I'm concerned, people call it the planet of luck. There is no such thing as luck, if you ask me. So it's the planet of karma. And it is actually retrograde in Scorpio. So saying that young lady could have been a Scorpio. Absolutely. Also, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So there we go. Karma. Opening to Ice Queen, which tends to represent Venus for me. And the air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Karma. And True Gem. Now, opposite Karma, Venus right now, it could be the fact that she's entering Cancer toward the end of the week. I think the 19th. I talk about that, of course, and give the correct date in the general reading. Opening to True Gem, which again, Gemini being one of the signs that Venus rules. Also, the Sun enters Gemini on the 20th. So, Sunday. Karma. And travel. And I always notice that the plane tends to be going backward. I mean, I guess it's going forward depending upon one's perspective, but it often jumps out at me as something that's going backward, and I connect it to the planets that are in retrograde. Those right now would be, again, Jupiter in Scorpio, Pluto in Capricorn, and Saturn in Capricorn. Also, a couple were in shadow. Uranus and Neptune. Travel again. Opening to Twin Flame. And travel. So it could be about like going back to your quote unquote twin flame relationship or divine partnership, or thinking back on it, being nostalgic. Sort of like Six of Cups. And back where I started with the young female. The overall energy this week is money. This tends to represent earth signs for me. This can be about the moon entering Taurus. Actually, a few things into Taurus this week. Uranus, which is the ruler of Aquarius, enters Taurus this week. As does Mercury, ruler of Gemini and Virgo. And the moon. There's a new moon in Taurus this week as well. So that could be what this is about. Other than that, it can represent actual money, abundance in general, financial, material abundance coming one's way. And it can represent the earth signs for me, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Divine couple. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to the union, The feminine can do, I got 2 there, I'm going to leave them. The masculine can do. Further advice from the universe and the outcome. Divine couple this week for love reading, spiritual growth. In the general reading, a lot was going on. So there was a lot of different energy that I saw and felt. And that was evident to viewers, I believe. Among those, I definitely felt like a cheating, somebody cheating, and I felt somebody lying. And I felt this before I even started anything. I said somebody's being, or some of us are being like intentionally lied to. And as the reading went on, it looked like somebody could have been, for one thing, lying about, yes, maybe some sort of outside affairs, outside of their relationship, but also addictions, to different things, people, places, and things. And there was also evidence of some people maybe having gotten better from that. So there's a lot of different reasons for spiritual growth to be representing the divine couple this week. And again, I feel a bunch of them came out in the general reading. And maybe they'll surface here too. The recent past. Passion. And it's a lot of fire energy. I think this is Aries coming through very strong. That fire energy that it provides. It's the recent past. The near future. Dark male. And this is actually the representation of the divine masculine in this deck for me. So him being in the near future is sort of a rise again from him. His higher self, the masculine higher self. True gem. So his mind is on perhaps a Gemini specifically, but value and worth, things of value and worth, like his priorities and where they really should lie. And maybe even on buying a ring for some. Or, even buying a ring in the metaphorical sense, like making some sort of commitment or proposal. Blocks to the union, however. Wallflower, inaction. Wallflower, as it relates to signs, tends to represent the signs of Scorpio, Capricorn, and sometimes Gemini for me. Mostly Capricorn and Scorpio. The kind of people, including Gemini, that would be like this at the party, but, and they were invited, they got the potential to be the most popular people there and well liked and everything. Everybody wants them around, but they kind of like removed. So while there's somebody dancing here, there's somebody dancing here, you can see this woman is sitting in the chair. And when I look at this card, I tend to hear that song, I Hope You Dance. It's like if you get an opportunity, don't let it pass you by again. If you get the choice to sit around or dance, I hope you dance. So this is the block has been not getting up to dance, not engaging. And maybe there's a need to be, maybe it's more literal for some. There's a need to be more social and even get out there. If you are single or have been like a hermit and removed from social interaction and opportunities where you could bump into people that you are connected with or have been connected with, or new people. So you're going to have to decide you know, whether or not to sit it out again and miss an opportunity or to dance. It's showing up as a block. What can the feminine do here for herself? Oh, wow. We have my representation of the divine feminine and the divine masculine sitting here next to each other under a card of passion and spiritual growth and true gem. Like, this is where the value is. How awesome is that? So this is what the feminine can do. This is us stepping into our power, remaining in our power and role as this divine being, and not only being as an individual that's maybe going through some spiritual growth and stuff, but a counterpart and a partner that's part of this, you know, unit of one, made of two people. That's what she can do. What about the masculine? Family and friendship. For some, it's here mirroring this true gem too. Again, this is about, you know, making some sort of formal commitment and building a family. And you see there's a ring here too on this person's finger. It's not the ring finger. For others, it is sort of like good or bad, whatever your friends or family have to say, we're not necessarily going to listen to that. We're going to make a choice on our own whether or not to engage and how much, you know, this is worth to us. For the most part, I feel positivity from this. But I can't help but notice that there's, you know, the three people here. And a lot of hands here. So there is the need to just be mindful of that, of the potential for additional energy. Like, you know, again, what initially came through about the masculine, like making choices for his own. You decide whether to sit it out or dance. It's not, you know, good or bad, whatever their advice is. It's not up to your family necessarily or your friends. But that's not to say that I'm feeling negativity from these, because I don't want to say that I am necessarily. I'm not really. However, that's why I kept saying good or bad, because I felt that there was a potential for, you know, some of it's not so good, the advice, and it's not so nice. And, you know, some of it is meant, they mean well. They're well intended, even if they're, you know, they should mind their business. So now we're crowned by gossip. And as I said before I even laid any cards in the general reading, I had already seen that somebody's being lied to. And it's malicious and it's intentional. Somebody's being purposely deceived. So that could be what's coming up here with the masculine. There's a potential for these friends and family to go either way. So make sure that you are who is deciding your destiny. You are who is, you know, prioritizing whatever's most important to you and whatever's most valuable to you, and not somebody else. This card also applicable to the feminine, though. This is further advice from the universe for both. So we want to be mindful of, you know, gossip as well, what we listen to and what we speak, you know, what we participate in, period, and the outcome. Fun times. I think this means, for the most part, there's a choice to get up and dance. But let's see from the masculine's perspective what the thought is. And for that, I'm using the Animal Tarot and beginning with the Sun. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments you so richly deserve. The sun represents the sign of Sagittarius as well in the tarot, but of course can be another fire sign too, particularly Leo, I would say, because the actual sun, Earth's star, the sun, rules the sign of Leo. It can be Aries as well. Open into the Chariot, which represents the sign of Cancer. It's about movement. It's about travel. Maybe connected to that plane, maybe connected to retrograde again and going backward. It can be literal planes, trains, automobiles, movement, moving, as in like from one place to another, one home to another, one job to another, and however that might affect your love life. It's also a card of victory. You can successfully balance various opposing energies at once, with determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're getting. 7 is a number of spirituality and divinity and God and like involvement in your life of the universe. So it's a very karmic number too. Sun, the 3 of Winter. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work through your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. So the 3 of Winter can be a card of loss and pain. Here, somebody may have undergone some sort of medical issue. Maybe even had to go under the knife. Maybe it was unexpected, an emergency surgery or something. But ultimately, I would say everything is going to be fine here too. Sun and the Dreamer. You're starting a new adventure. Run free and take this leap of faith. The Dreamer or the Fool, about just that, a brand new path, walking down a brand new path that, you know, you've never walked quite that way or in that manner before. And it's the 4 of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things through black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building walls that keep people out. Overall energy is life experience, or the Tower. Important changes are coming into your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. The feminine about herself, the masculine as it relates to the feminine about himself, and the union. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine to do and contribute or whatever toward the union this week. Surrender, maybe. What he himself is willing to. What the universe would have the 2 to do, and the outcome. Feminine, the Magician. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything that you need to be successful. The Magician for me represents the sign of Gemini, or perhaps another mutable sign, Virgo, Sagittarius, yet again, Pisces. And it would be about the feminine manifesting, you know, doing just what it said there, bringing whatever it is she needs or wants into her life through her energy and positive thoughts and words spoken over her own life. What the masculine is feeling about the feminine right now. 9 of Summer, wishes granted, prayers answered, dream come true, this woman is. Now's the time when your dreams come true. Don't worry about how this will happen. Just give gratitude to God for all that you have and all that's still to come. Masculine about himself. Nice. The Prince of Summer, romantic, flirtatious, introspective, and enchanting is the Prince of Summer. He's the frog waiting to be kissed. He can turn into a prince. A deeply emotional bond and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such a whirlwind encounter, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. The Prince of Summer is a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, like really wanting to make some sort of proposal, like I said in the first spread. And the union as a whole from the masculine's perspective. The Hermit. What happened, masculine? Take time for contemplation. He's got to figure this out. He's got to try to figure it out. Unfortunately, he doesn't know, or he's not thinking that we're not supposed to worry about how these things that we want, desire, are going to come to fruition. Just work on manifesting them and trust the universe will provide them. But he wants to go inside instead. And you know what? This is a good time to do that, actually. With Uranus in Taurus, I spoke about it at length, actually, in the general reading. Is a time to spend going within, as can be this moon, this Taurus new moon. So masculine may be onto something. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. And that's another meaning that I'm getting now. I'm just seeing this butterfly here with the wings like in the shape of a heart too. The Hermit also about enlightenment. So when you go within, it is with the purpose of learning more about you, like you're both the teacher and the student. And you're also meant to enlighten others, shed light on things for others. As a couple, as a unit and union, you guys, this card also telling me that it's meant to suggest like you illuminate, you enlighten others around you, like in a more literal sense. You light up the area with your love, basically. It radiates. Overall, ego, however, there's pride sitting up there. Ego is the devil in the traditional tarot. Major Arcana card number 15. Also represents the sign of Capricorn. It can be another earth sign, perhaps Taurus, Virgo. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. That also came up too. I felt somebody like married to money, trying to break up, trying to divorce money in the general reading. What would the masculine have the feminine do this week toward, improving the situation, or what should she let go or whatever? These feelings of lack, which came up for the feminine in the general reading also. Focusing upon the negative, or worrying about money or your career or past crappy relationships or experiences, can block your progress. Because your trust and faith are at a low right now, it might not be the best time to start a new business or become self-employed, or maybe to enter a relationship. The masculine, what is he himself willing to do this week? Oh, he's got a 5 too. It's the 5 of winter. Your current path isn't leading you toward the happiest possible outcome, so why not change it? Always maintain integrity and compassion. But be alert to the hidden agendas of others, the family and friends that came up before, the gossip. And I said they could be whispering in your ear, and it may not be, maybe they may think it's good. They may be well-intended, and some of them are going to be malicious. This card here is showing that he's willing to avoid that. Do what he can to avoid drama and not listening to gossip and bullshit and not bringing conflict upon himself by engaging in it. What would the universe have the two to do? Just be a family. Just be happy. Just be together. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. The 10 of Autumn is also about just being surrounded by, you know, friends and family and love, and having a relationship or having relationships that are, you know, of worth, of value, irreplaceable, priceless, you know, to you. And the outcome. Where it was difficult getting there, that's come to an end. Something may have happened though. There may be a breaking free from something that's holding you back from this that has to occur or that does occur this week. The end of a career path, project, or relationship brings feelings both of, you know, mixed of joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So trust that this is coming. That this is coming. But with the Tower as the overall energy, it may come as a huge surprise that the masculine, you know, shows up, or a masculine shows up, period, for you, if you're single, let's say, and, you know, makes some sort of proposal to you, even if it's just like a dinner invitation or whatever it is. Opening to the Queen of Winter, who is experienced, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. So I think we've just seen this come up twice, particularly in the life of the masculine, but the feminine can have some too. Queen of Winter. Nice. The King of Summer now is here. Warm-hearted, devoted, loving, and faithful is the King of Summer. A trustworthy person or relationship enters your life. You may receive wise and compassionate advice from someone who speaks directly from the heart. The King of Summer and Queen of Winter are the true divine masculine and feminine of real life in all time, as far as I'm concerned. Not just the tarot. And it aligns not only with, you know, different things that I've illustrated and showed over the years, but with the planets. The Queen of Winter, absolutely representing Venus, who is the planet of love in general, but certainly the feminine planet of love. And the King of Water can easily be Mars, which is, again, a co-ruler of Scorpio, and the masculine planet of love. So there you have that. Queen of Winter. Speaking of Mars, the Five of Spring. A lot of fives today. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the conflict without sacrificing your goals or beliefs. So again, sort of like what we saw in the other spread, rather than engage, if we can not engage, just, you know, pull out and go with our own feelings, thoughts, heart. Queen of Winter. And it's the Three of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career or relationship comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talent and true self to shine forth out into the world. The Three of Earth is about abundance that is earned. So even in the case of love, a relationship that you've been waiting for, you're getting it because you put the work in. Like maybe having to do with the Hermit too. Hermit can be about education, enlightenment, learning. Could be a professor. Like the words of that song, earning my man rather, while I was learning my man. Something you young girls might not understand. There's a song called No Pain, No Gain. And coming now to the Princess of Summer. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Someone making, some sort of offer of love or something that brings you emotional happiness, joy. Overall energy, once again, is the King of Summer. So many sirens today, and sirens are the only sound that come through my windows. If ever anything else comes through, it's because my window is open, but I actually closed it before the reading. And so many sirens today. So that's always like the healing that's coming through as well in those moments for me. Masculine is crowned by the Prince of Spring, who is passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing you can't handle if you follow your inner guidance. The Prince of Spring is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or perhaps Scorpio. Both of those latter two, Aries and Scorpio, again, co-ruled by Mars, the masculine planet of love, the planet of action, planet of aggression. Prince of Spring shows up, it is to take some sort of immediate action. Masculine is surrounded by the world. And I wanted to use these on purpose because of all the things that came up in the general. And the world was in this exact placement in the general reading as well for the masculine. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you set out to do. You made it through the challenges and incorporated the lessons life offered you with grace and courage. The world can be about a party of three, potentially. Possibly a love triangle, but not necessarily. And it's about the universe stepping in to ease you out of a situation that was not working for you, but you, for whatever reason, were clinging to. Either you felt stuck, like you couldn't leave, or you just figured if you ignored things, they'd go away. The situation would improve. You procrastinated, whether it was a job, a relationship, a home living situation. And so now the universe has stepped in and it's helping you out of that situation. It's not abrupt like the Tower. It's more easy, but it's stepping in to say, okay, like enough with this, whatever it is. In the masculine subconscious, the Five of Spring. Occasionally, you may experience clashes with others. If you decide the matter is worth your energy, then do what you can to minimize the situation without conflict or sacrificing your goals and beliefs. Here in his subconscious, this can be some sort of internal struggle through which he's going. It could represent that. Or his mind could be on a conflict that he's had with a family member or something, or a close friend. The Five of Spring tends to, for me, not only represent conflict, but conflict more specifically and more often with, if it's not internal, with close friends and or family, like we saw in that first spread. The masculine may be going through some stuff with people around him that don't mean him well. And even those who do mean him well, not giving him the right advice. We're giving him, you know, advice from their perspective and based on their life, and not, you know, what's in his heart or on his path or connected to his life purpose to do. So he's got to work through that. Crowning the feminine. It's the princess of winter, who's logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. Princess of winter for me tends to be a Gemini, which is the page of swords. But of course can be a Libra or an Aquarius as well, or anybody likened to these traits or attributes. It can be about delay in addition to that. This is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Don't kill the messenger because they have news that you'd rather not hear, basically. Feminine surrounded by the Ace of Summer. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. So it can definitely be about spiritual gifts and insights in the awakening or the increasing. We saw that in the first spread too. The divine couple being represented by spiritual growth. This is also about reconciliation, however. Reunion. This is new relationships, new love, new experiences that are going to make you extremely happy. Emotional fulfillment, joy. Possibly with a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Scorpio. And you may be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or vice versa. In the feminine subconscious, the Six of Winter. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can breathe a sigh of relief. Let go and embrace the happier times ahead. So what might be said here? The words might not be so difficult. From whom you're receiving them might be difficult. You might have to face a situation of the past that was painful. He may come to seek, for example, he's apologizing. Seek your forgiveness. And so to face that may be hard. Before you go off and, like, I don't even want to talk to you, I don't even want to look at you, relax on the part of the messenger and hear the words, because they could bring you they could bring you a lot of happiness. Be prepared to accept that things are going to get better, to look forward to things getting better. If you feel yourself in a space, you know, where it's contrary to that and you're feeling stuck in a negative headspace, expect that things are going to get better for you. Six of Winter is a card potentially of travel, like the Chariot rather, and the travel card we saw in the beginning. It's a card of travel and movement. Swords cards tend not to be about movement. This one absolutely is for me. Movement, moving. So it could be metaphorical, it could be moving on. Or you may even be considering a trip or planning a trip. Crowning. The Seven of Autumn. The planning, resources, and efforts that you've invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. The Seven of Autumn reminds us that even if we can't see anything happening, you know, the natural order of things and common sense, wow, a lot of healing this week. The natural order of things and common sense tells us that when you put seeds in the ground, cover them up with dirt and pour water, they grow. Even before we see the sprouts, they're growing. The fact that we can't see the sprouts yet does not mean they're not growing. As a matter of fact, to the contrary, it means we just got to be patient, because one day we're going to start to see little green leaves poking out through the dirt. Okay, so that's what's going to be happening with the fruits of your labors. At the root, release or death. Major Arcana card, death in the tarot. It's time to release the past. As I was just saying, pain, let go of it. Don't hold on to it, because then you can block this blessing here that's here for us. All right, it's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. At the heart of the matter, the moon. It's important to trust your intuition. Even if you're unsure of what's happening, all will be revealed soon. So worry is unnecessary. The moon represents the sign of Pisces, or perhaps another water sign. The Ace of Water. Scorpio, which death represents, or Cancer, which the Chariot represented that was here before. This moon sitting here underneath the Seven of Autumn can also be directly connected to the Taurus new moon, and a reminder that Taurus is absolutely about abundance, but it can take time. We might have to be patient. We may feel that it's just sort of plodding along. That was the word that came up in the general. It's the Taurus energy plodding along, Plodding. I always compare it to like the tortoise and the hare. It's slow and steady wins the race. So information is coming to us, is being revealed. Abundance is coming to us, that's being revealed. Here's the information, perhaps. It's coming out of the mouth of a page of winter, that's possible. Patience often required with the world. The energy of the world. Again, we're being eased out of a situation. As the masculine is pulled out of this situation, maybe more will become apparent to us. The universe will let us in on more of the secret. But to further clarify, I'm going to use my Tony Carmine Solano Universal Love Oracle, beginning with abundance, which also represents earth signs and abundance. Can be representative of Venus herself as well, and perhaps the air signs. Opening to relationship, which says that if we're having relationship issues, and we're unhappy with the way our relationships with other people are going, then we need to take a look at our relationship with ourselves and maybe go within, like the Hermit suggests, and learn more about ourselves first. Abundance and heaven on earth. Heaven on earth means we have to let go of some sort of baggage, even if it's emotional baggage and it's not something physical. If it's resentment, regret, the inability to forgive and to move forward, whatever it is, we have to let go of it if we want to be able to receive our flow, our something new. You want to experience heaven on earth, then you got to leave hell behind, basically. Abundance. And the Trilogy of Light, which for me is more about Trinity, and there's three energies here too. Three energies are not always negative. In this case, for me, this one is, the divine masculine, feminine, and the universe. And as we opposite the abundance, it's kind of like the Empress, right? The Empress card in the tarot. It's the nurturing of the universe, that mothering. It's the abundance coming in as a blessing from the divine. It is potentially representative of some sort of party of three too, yes. But again, that party of three can just be a trinity of us, of the union, together with the universe. Abundance again. I'll go one more. And it's enchantment. This card is about some serious healing, and maybe that's why Raphael keeps coming through here with all these sirens today. As you can see, this woman, and for me, she's being healed pretty specifically by Venus and Mars, sending these rays of light all the way through her body, through the top of her crown, all the way down. Despite the fact that she's been through it, she's got scars on her face and neck, from what I can see. She's still vulnerable. She still allows herself to be vulnerable. She's here, completely nude. Here's her breasts exposed, right? Not afraid to be there, standing there nude. Her eyes are closed. Her head's tilted back. She's in a 100% vulnerable state. That's what we have to be willing to do. Surrender completely to the universe and allow it to heal us and to continue to move us forward. Abundance. And it's dreams. So it's going to be about dreams coming true, prayers being answered again, which is finally being granted. Overall energy is sorrow. And these are all the negative emotions of attachment that are manifesting in our lives as blockages and the inability to move forward. So this is what we're going to want to release and heal this week. Atop the Prince of Spring, or the Knight of Wands, is expectancy. The universe wants to come through. Jupiter wants to come through. And there's a moon in this picture too. Jupiter wants to come through. Bless you. You have to not try to tell him how to do it, masculine. You too have to surrender. At least to the extent that similar to what I said in the first spread, you don't have to figure out or worry about how your dreams are going to come true. Just have the faith that they're coming true right now. This expectancy card represents the limitations that we put upon the universe by trying to over specify how to do what for us and when. So we can't do that. This is an energy, again, that wants to come through very fast. It's sudden movement. So if you're finding yourself doing this, you want to, again, think positive things over yourself, and like consciously, physically, if you know that you've been doing that, take a moment to, on purpose, release that. Consciously decide to let that go and to tell the universe that you are going to allow it to work through and for you. And to, you want to ask it to remove the blockages. You want to make room for new. You want to make room for good. You want to transmute any darkness to light. And you are in complete surrender. Luke 1:36 through 38. Well, ultimately, Luke 1:38, right? Let it be done to me as you say. Not as I say, as you say. That's what the masculine has to do here. Surrounding you, atop the world, embrace. So this is another card of healing. It's like temperance for me in the traditional tarot. And temperance, like the Prince of Spring, is very easily a Sagittarius and or representing the planet Jupiter, like also the redhead girl that kept showing up in the first spread. Jupiter, the planet of karma, that wants to send us blessings, oh, excuse me, But we first have to let go of, again, the expectancy. So temperance, or this energy of temperance, so to speak, comes in with healing to help us to come into balance. Now, it looks like a couple, and like in a very, tight and loving embrace. It's something we'd all enjoy. But really, it's one person's inner masculine and feminine coming together in a healthier and more harmonious way than it had before. So what can be coming to an end additionally for the masculine in order to allow for his blessings to come in, the abundance to come into him, is this imbalance and sort of energy being doled out all over the place. Maybe, again, more than one, even romantic relationship. And, he has to sort of regroup as an individual. In the masculine subconscious, atop the 5 of spring, very nice. Again, this card can represent for me Mars and the aggression and the action that Mars takes or desires to take. Mars, again, the masculine planet of love. It's here in his subconscious. It's topped by eternal flame. So we could take this to mean that for the majority, it's not about some sort of drama. That's not the most important thing on their mind related to the 5 of spring. It's this passion that's burning, and they want to take action toward it. Sort of like running toward their passions and knocking down anything that's in the way of them acquiring them and, achieving them. Crowning the feminine atop the princess of winter. It's more twins. It's tantric union. So this is a card of like whether you're together or apart, communication. And it's communication in other ways. When I first connected, I won't say met because we had known each other already, but it was just one day we sort of went like bing, but connected with my masculine. A mutual friend at work asked, like, what is it with the two of you, whatever. Or they had worked with both of us. This was after we didn't, we didn't work together any longer. She asked me, and I said, it's like we have this. Now the Babyface song is coming out of to mine and out of my mouth. We have this way of talking that doesn't involve words. It's, I don't know. At the time, I didn't get it at all at the time. But we definitely communicated without speaking. And so there's going to be some of that going on. This, like myself, can easily represent Gemini. If not, it represents air energy, which is about communication. So this can be, we can unite this way too, in the physical. But even where that doesn't happen, this is about, connecting telepathically and just sort of feeling one another too. Surrounding the feminine, atop the Ace of Summer, in this beautiful new beginning, forgiveness. So I think this is of what it's born. And isn't this what I've been talking about since I first saw it in this reading? The need for, in our overall energy, remember, is sorrow. Okay, so there's hurt, there's pain, and there's a need for forgiveness, to seek it and to give it, and to begin with ourselves first too. And that gives way to the new beginning. Clearing out this old energy of whatever we were holding on to. Remember that baggage I talked about? The resentment, regret, inability to forgive, all of that stuff, all those negative emotions. By clearing that out, that allows for this beautiful new beginning that is emotionally fulfilling. And sometimes even an apology can be what's emotionally fulfilling. Atop the 6 of winter and moving on, calmer, stiller waters, right? Better times, maybe even getting ready to go on vacation. It's another card with water. It's the Trilogy of Light is back. Do you see that both of these cards are about water? So maybe there is a connection between air and water. Maybe specifically Gemini and one of the water signs we've seen, Scorpio with the Death card having been here. Cancer, we saw the Chariot earlier. I opened up to the moon, so that will be all of them. We opened up to the moon before, saw Pisces. So maybe there's that. Also, water, at least still water like this, is very calming, very peaceful, and can help us to get centered. And for some of you, if you're able to go near the water, if you live near water or something and you're able to go near water, just to clear your mind and maybe come to peace about something, it's a good idea to do that as well. Crowning atop the 7 of autumn and this need for some patience, celebration. Like soon enough, we'll get to be, to reap what we've sown and to celebrate that, celebrate the harvest. This can be connected to the summer solstice, actually, is what I'm getting. So that's obviously not this week, but for some, there could be some sort of culmination. June, mid-June. Solstice is June 21st, right? There can be some sort of culmination for some of us beginning this week, and maybe some of us will experience full-on energy this week, but for others it can be gradual, and then finally able to reap what we've sown. Soon we get to see the sprouts, and then they continue to grow, and then I think by the summer solstice there's some celebration. At the root, atop death, it's the goddess. So feminine energy, and this woman is nude also. Nudity to me signifies vulnerability. She's stripped bare, literally, right? So the bare essence. You can't get much more vulnerable. The only way you can is like the other woman, you close your eyes, you tilt your head back, now you really have no control. So she's vulnerable. She's in surrender. The moon is all about feminine energy, and for me, and in general, the moon is connected to females and to femininity, and to our cycle, our menstrual cycle, all of that. But not only that, for me, it is further to, more specifically, feminine energy of surrender. And it's here atop death, which is about the need to let go. So this is like double surrender and a specific message coming from the universe. With major arcana, this is the more intense karmic energy coming from the universe. And say, let this go. This pain, right? These old emotions, this inability to come to grips with yourself, masculine, to be at peace with yourself, let that go. Feminine, this need to hold on to stuff from the past that's old, that's preventing you from moving forward. For the inability to forgive hurts you more than it hurts anybody that may ever seek your forgiveness. It hurts you more. It blocks you. It can cause you, in the physical, it can cause you health problems. So let that go. Let that die on both sides, is what the goddess on top of death shows up to say. And at the heart of the matter, atop the moon, it's that ultimate card of healing that I talked about. And it is this sort of balance, again, this yin and yang, this Venus and Mars energy that comes together to heal her. Also, enchantment, it's about like being captivated and engaged, possibly enlightened, is what I'm thinking too. And we have this here crossing the Page of Swords. I think some communication, forgiveness, but among other things, like some stuff coming to light too. Maybe when it's the need for forgiveness, there's also an admission. This happened. I'm sorry. And then everybody can be healed as a result. Really lovely energy this week. Wow. So our further advice for the masculine, soulmate. So these are real, genuine connections that you're going to be moving toward and working toward this week. For the feminine, past love. These can be one and the same. One and the same. But there's something from your past that may not be connected to the divine masculine specifically. It may be somebody else that needs to seek your forgiveness and or that you need to forgive. Sometimes we have to accept the apologies we're never going to get. All right? This can be a past love that is causing you to harbor old negative emotions that are preventing you from moving forward with somebody else. Whether you realize it or not, it's in the background. It's happening, sort of like how the plants are growing. We can't see them, but it's happening. From the animal tarot to the masculine, nice. The 8 of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation, and it looks like the masculine is again. He has the world here. So he's moving from a situation in a lot of cases here. And that's one thing. But you could also be moving or being drawn to what would make you happy. Ace of Summer. Either way, you're in control. You're in control. So this connects also back to the need to not listening to family or friends or gossip. You, masculine, are in control. Animal tarot to the feminine. The Star. Major Arcana card, the Star, which represents the planet Uranus in the sign of Aquarius. So I think we have not only all the water signs present, but all the air signs too. You're about to take a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. Here it is. Masculine, we've come full circle. Complete your tasks and the flow of abundance opens to you. This is abundance in all forms, financial, material, and absolutely love. And feminine, for us, the gateway. We're entering, a new door. We're stepping upon a new path, leaving this old dark one behind and moving toward one that is far more illuminated and befitting of divine beings. Hope that you guys enjoy this week's love reading. I'll be back with a Taurus new moon reading. Namaste, angels.